What do you think would happen if one ordinary day you just let go? Not vanishing in the physical sense, not running away, just releasing, pulling back your energy, untangling yourself from the emotional threads that tie you to people, places, and expectations. Have you ever wondered what would shift inside you and around you if you stepped away, not in anger, not in bitterness, but from a place of peace? This isn't the kind of absence people prepare for. It's not loud or dramatic. It's the quiet kind that unsettles. Because when you stop showing up as who others expect you to be, you disturb something deep. It's not just about you being missed. It's about what your presence used to mask. You see, people build emotional structures around your existence, often without realizing it. You become a fixture in their lives, a stabilizing force, even if unspoken. And when you decide to step back, it isn't just distance they feel. It's imbalance, confusion, a strange emotional vertigo. Because here's the secret. Your presence was never just about you. It was about what others projected onto you. Their unspoken needs, their expectations, their unhealed wounds. You were the mirror, the container, the buffer. And when you step away, they're left with what's been hiding beneath all along. This is the uncomfortable truth. Your absence doesn't echo with memories of who you were. It reflects what they can no longer escape in themselves. Think about it. How many times have you been told you're important? That someone needs you? That they couldn't function without your support? And yet, when you truly examine those words, you'll find a subtle current. Those declarations often say more about them than they do about you, because so much of what we call connection isn't about shared understanding. It's about emotional dependency. And when you step away, even gently, even silently, you disrupt a pattern. That disruption, that ripple, is what this entire reflection is about. We're not here to gloss over hard feelings or dress up the truth. This is an excavation, a deep dive into the inner mechanics of human relationship, of self-identity, and the hidden tension that exists when one person unknowingly becomes the emotional anchor for another. When you withdraw, you trigger something. People start to feel a discomfort they can't name. It might come out as anger, passive aggression, or even complete silence. But beneath that is something more raw, a reckoning. An encounter with a truth they never wanted to face. That their sense of self was partially built around you. And when you're no longer there, what's left? That's the question they can't shake. Not because they truly depended on you, but because they depended on what you allowed them to avoid. Your presence buffered their discomfort. Your listening, your presence, your consistency. It made parts of their own inner world more bearable. And when that's gone, they don't just lose a person. They lose a defense mechanism. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Once you step back, people begin rewriting the story. They don't just grieve the absence. They reconstruct your character. Some paint you as a saint, unreachable, irreplaceable. Others recast you as the villain, the one who abandoned, betrayed, disappeared. But rarely, very rarely, do they ask, why did I need this person so badly? You see, people are much more comfortable analyzing you than confronting themselves. And that's the power of stepping away. It breaks the lens through which they were seeing themselves. A lens you didn't create, but one you unconsciously held up. Some will reflect. Some will deny. Others will rush to fill the void. But no one is left untouched. Because absence doesn't scream. It echoes. It expands. And the silence it leaves behind grows louder over time. The irony is, most people don't even realize how deeply they were leaning on you until you're not there anymore. In their mind, you were just part of the scenery. Someone consistent, maybe helpful, maybe supportive, but not essential. And then suddenly you're gone. Or rather, you're different. Your energy has shifted. And with it, so has theirs. Their world tilts. They replay old conversations. They start wondering if they missed something. Did they take you for granted? Were they too selfish? Was it something they said or didn't say? But even these questions are a maze, because at the heart of it all is one unsettling realization. They were never standing on solid ground. Their relationship with you was never rooted in pure connection. It was entangled in silent needs, in unresolved emotions, in psychological scaffolding you didn't even know you were supporting. And now that you've pulled back, gently, peacefully, the structure shakes. So what happens next? Some adapt. They learn. They sit with the discomfort and face their own reflection. These are the rare ones, the ones who grow. Others flail. They lash out. They try to pull you back. Not because they want you back, but because they want the version of themselves that existed when you were still there. And a few, perhaps the bravest, step into the silence. They begin asking deeper questions, not about you but about themselves. They begin to unravel the story, thread by thread, and realize how much of their emotional landscape was being shaped by someone else's presence. By your presence, your stepping away becomes their turning point. And you're not untouched in this either. You begin to notice what's truly yours, which relationships were reciprocal and which were quietly extracting your energy, which connections gave back and which ones drained. You begin to feel your own energy return, not suddenly, but steadily, as if you've been carrying weight you didn't even know was there. You realize that silence has a shape, and that voids can breathe. And somewhere in all of this, you find something rare: clarity. This isn't about revenge. It's not about proving a point or punishing anyone. It's about reclaiming your emotional landscape, about saying, I choose peace over performance. And that act, that decision changes everything. So if you've ever stepped away or are thinking about doing it, know this: your absence might stir confusion, discomfort, even anger in others. But in the long run, it's the most honest act you can make. Because stepping away isn't abandonment. It's a boundary. And boundaries, though uncomfortable, are the birthplace of growth for everyone involved. Now I want you to sit with this final thought. You don't owe anyone the version of you that makes them feel safe from themselves. If that's the only thing you remember from this entire reflection, let it be that. And if this message resonates, if you've seen yourself in these words, leave a comment with this line: I stepped away and I found myself. Subscribe if you haven't already, because here we don't avoid the uncomfortable. We walk straight into it, together. And who knows, maybe by the end of this journey you won't just understand others better. You'll understand yourself. And that, more than anything, is what stepping away is really about. Not losing connection, but finally creating an authentic one. With you.